Okay. In accordance with the Children's Online Privacy Protection Act, this channel is not to be viewed by children under the age of 13. Viewer discretion is advised. Hey everybody, Dragon King Mark here, and welcome back to Let's Play Shadowrun Hong Kong Extended Edition. Last we left off, we took care of Isabel's questline. Well, we managed to get the information from Rhombus. Turns out it was actually her old childhood memories that she lost. Well, she didn't lose. She actually asked Rhombus to, well, get rid of them and store them in a little data stick. Thankfully, we managed to... Well, we actually managed to, get through that mission relatively unscathed. And we even managed to patch things up a bit with them. Now, however, we have to go back to Kindly Cheng because she just got intel on the plastic-faced man. I also just realized now that that those are digital Kirans, or Quillans, right in front of the metro station. I didn't know that until now, so that's just kind of neat. So, if you're wondering exactly why I'm redoing this episode again, yesterday I did stream, but the problem is that the video only got like 20 minutes in compared to everything else, so I just decided to delete it and then try again. Let's go talk to Kindly Cheng. And she's right, everyone's here. As you walk through the mahjong parlor, you can see your crew waiting for you, clearly uncomfortable to be so close to the triad boss. Then you see why. Kindly Cheng's cheeks are flushed and glowing. She's already hit the bottle pretty hard. Ah, Zhengzhan, you're here. Excellent. Yes, Zhengzhan, it is good to see you. They both have expressions that say they'd rather be anywhere else. Let's get to it, shall we? You said you had a lead, Auntie? Hey, viewer. I did, and I do. Kindly Cheng takes out her PDA and gently places it on the table in front of her. The wiretap we placed in the police force has borne fruit. Her mouth breaks into a wolfish grin as her eyes take on a feral gleam. She appears fueled by alcohol and vengeance, a hungry beast on the hunt. And the two most deadliest combinations that is basically you must never cross. Someone who's drunk and someone who's out for blood. Both are terrifying. My people have delivered a snippet of a recorded video call between the plastic-faced man and Chief Inspector Crate of the Special Duties Unit. Whoa. This should be good. Should we take a seat? Unfortunately, it's only a snippet. There were some technical difficulties with the tap. She glances at Bao, who nods back at her. The person responsible has been sacked. Cheng reaches out a lacquered fingernail, hunts for the button she's looking for, and stabs it in victory. There's a loud crackling noise at the beginning of the recording, followed by a squelching squeal that makes Gava cover her ears in pain. I'm guessing feedback? When the video recording begins, the man's voice sounds far away as if he's talking through a thick pane of glass. The woman's is louder, closer. Say that again, there's something wrong with this line. I said my client isn't interested in hearing more excuses, Inspector. That's what I thought you said. I'm not making excuses, mister. I have a department to run. Not for much longer if those two Westerners aren't found. They're linked to this Raymond Black somehow, and my client wants them out of circulation immediately. The two runners are his accomplices too. The little orc and the dwarf at the cyberdeck. Gobbet looks at Isabel wide-eyed and swallows hard. Isabel winks back reassuringly. Shouldn't it be the other way around? I'm aware, Inspector. Thank you. We don't know how much any of them know, and my client is adamant that the risk can be mitigated immediately. I've already made this the SDU's highest priority. If Josephine wants more resources on it, I'm going to need allocations from elsewhere in the department. That is a problem that can easily be dealt with. My client wants this over now. No more excuses, no more fuck-ups, no more cops floating in the river. Kindly Cheng smiles at that and pours herself a shot. Tell her we're redoubling our efforts. Very good. Dead or alive, you bring them to me. My client requires a personal verification that the threat has been eliminated. Hang on, this line's getting worse. There's a sharp crackle and the recording ends. Kindly Cheng picks up her PDA and puts it away with a smile. She unscrews the cap on her bottle and pours herself a shot with a flourish. That's the guy we saw on the surveillance footage. The one who shot Raymond Black. She leans into the PDA. That plastic face looks a lot cooler up close up. I think it's kind of pretty. That video doesn't tell us much. I mean, we already know that there's an APB on us. All we're sure of now is this man with the plastic face is definitely working for someone else. This Josephine. Is that all we have, Auntie? A first name? It's not just a name, Gobbet dear. It's the first name. Josephine Cheng. She's the one pulling the strings. Kindly downs her shot and slams the glass upside down on her table. Okay, so we actually have a full name now for our antagonist. Josephine Cheng. That disease-ridden riddled dog fucker. I should have known it was her from the beginning. She drums her fingers on the table in front of her. And she had nerve to call down the heat on my runners on Nightjar? Oh, that Scabber's fossil is going to pay. So, I don't recognize the name. Cheng makes a wet hacking noise in the back of her throat and spits on the floor. Seriously? Not on the floor? She's the CEO of Sang Mechanical Services and a member of the Hong Kong Executive Council. Her face turns into a mask of disgust. Josephine Dog fucking Sang. CEO, huh? What do you know about her? She was Hong Kong Philanthropist of the Year in 2054 and 2055. Children's hospitals, homeless shelters, food distribution centers. Good causes. And the kind that get good PR because people are too lazy and myopic to look for the real people doing the hard work. The face-to-face with the poor work. That kind of sounds like what's going on right now, but I guess even in, well, later years with other worlds, it's always the same. Some things never change. Don't be so cynical, Isabel. Auntie Cheng smiles at her sweetly. Coming face to face with the unsanitized for video poor is distasteful, dear. You know that. Her face gets stony. Beyond being a CEO and a philanthropist, I also know that Josephine Sang is a lying, conniving bitch. Philanthropist and bitch? Those two sound mutually exclusive. She snorts derisively. Wake up, Sangshan. Power is power. Whether you're providing children with three hots and a cot, or you're negotiating a treaty with a multinational, it's all the same. It doesn't sound like you like her very much. Where did we give you that impression, my sweet? Her wolfish smile returns. No, my darling, I don't like Josephine Sang, and I'm going to fuck her up. I'm going to fuck her up bad. Care to elaborate on that? No. She picks up her bottle of swill. Its turpentine fumes drift your way. Not now, not today. But you'll be there, my darling. I'll make it a party. So what is Sang Mechanical Services? Josephine's baby. It was a B-rated corporation before she married into the Sang family. But after she fought for and won the contract to rebuild Kowloon Walled City, their fortunes rose high. They began a rise to power that eventually landed Josephine on the Executive Council. Wait, so there's a connection between Josephine Sang and the Walled City? Yes, the same place Raymond Black hired my runners to take him. I've already connected the dots. I don't know what it means, but it clearly means something. What do you think the connection is between Josephine Sang and this plastic-faced man? I don't know yet, but I will. He called her his client. That may be some sort of lead we can follow. Cheng nods at Wu. Your glance lingers at his biceps for a moment before continuing. Right now, all we know is that he is her instrument, the one who killed Raymond Black. Raymond's not dead. Yes, you may have mentioned that before, Gunshaw. She smiles at him reprovingly. Regardless, the plastic-faced man is still our best lead for figuring out what's going on. Remind me who this executive council is again? May I, Auntie? Isabel breaks in, giving Kindly Cheng a chance to calm down a bit. Hong Kong is run by a consortium of powerful corporations called the Board of Governors, who set up the Executive Council, an 8-member committee for exemplary Hong Kong citizens to represent the people and run the city on their behalf. But of course, you don't vote for them. That would be too unpredictable. Instead, every 2 years, two executive council slots come up for election, and the corporations on the board of governors put up some possible candidates and vote amongst themselves in a closed-door session. Closed door? I'm shocked. Of course, every single one of these candidates is in some corporation's payroll somehow. Wham bam, it's in government. Okay, let's cut to the chase. What's our next step? There's nothing we can do to touch Josephine Sang, as much as I hate to admit it. But the plastic-faced man is a different story. He's a third-party operative who's been careless, and he'll live to regret it. Her little black eyes turn stony. For a while. If Sang thinks she could take out two of my runners and get away with it, I'm gonna have to explain things to her. She pulls out a thin black cigar and runs it beneath her nose. I don't understand why people do that. We're going to find the plastic-faced man and we're going to hurt him. We'll hurt him until we know everything he does, and then we will use that to strike back at Josephine Sang. She lights her cigar and takes a deep, deep pull. You will have your vengeance and I will have my own satisfaction. She turns away and picks up the bottle. Now get out, I have work to do. Alright, so that explains it then. We now have an identity on the person who contracted to kill Raymond Black. The bigger question, however, is what is her connection to Raymond? Why did she put out that hit? And more importantly, how do we get to her? And if Raymond is even still alive? Let's go check on Isabel first. So yeah, I played and beat the game Lies of P. Fun game. Addicting as all hell, mind you. Definitely difficult, but then again, it's like Bloodborne, so I left a review for it on my FA and DA. I might link it. Why not? Isabel half turns away from the octopus's main display. She looks up at you, blinking. The memory stick that you acquired from Rhombus has already been slotted into one of the computer's many expansion ports. The cherry red plastic that sheaves the stick looks slick and wet in the light. Probably from rain. You did good back there. The run went well. Her eyes flit down to the memory stick. We got the stick. The key to my old memories. All I have to do now is slot it. Any thoughts about the last run? Yeah, of course I got thoughts. It was my run, right? She pauses for a moment. And, thank you for coming with me. Don't mention it. It was fun. Don't know if I call it that, but we got what we came for. That's something. Anything else you wanted to know? So you haven't unlocked your old memories yet? No, not yet. I mean, I can. It'd be as simple as plugging myself in and tapping a key. My old memories are all mine if I want them. But you're not sure that you want them. She nods. That's about the shape of it. I'm feeling hesitant about this. It isn't easy, you know, shifting organic memories into headwear storage, wiping the originals and locking them away for safekeeping. That's corporate level mind sculpting. Serious business. Locking away the files was important to you, I got that. Very important. If it wasn't, I wouldn't have let an amateur tinker with my brain in the corner of a derelict shopping mall. Whatever I've got up there, I was desperate to get rid of it. Makes a girl wonder why. Tell me, Isabel, would it have been easier for you to have Rhombus just wipe the memories altogether? She blinks. Yes, much easier. Still not without risk, but you didn't do that. You had to move the memories into storage. Why? There was a long pause. Because I knew that one day I might need them. And today's that day. We need information on the walled city, and whatever's locked up in there could help. Another long pause. Isabel stares at her feet, thinking. Finally, she looks back up at you. You're right. I know that. I knew that before we went to get the code. I just needed to talk it through with someone. Not Gobbet. Someone who could take this situation seriously. I needed to talk it through with you. Hey, that's what I'm here for. Without another word, she pulls a cable from a pile on the floor and slots it into her data jack. The other end disappears into one of the octopus's many brains. Her fingers fly across the octopus's keyboard, rattling off a series of audible clicks. Finally, her thumb hovers over the execute key. Alright, Singshan, wish me luck. The key depresses with an audible click. Isabel's eyes flutter and her cheeks flush with blood. Oh no. No, 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 no. She starts shaking her head from side to side, wrinkling her hands. A progress bar on the octopus's auxiliary monitor slowly climbs. Oh, fuck. You got this, Iz. Don't back down now. Thanks for the tip. And I'm not backing down. It's almost done. The progress bar climbs to 100. Isabel snatches the cable back out of her data jack and covers her eyes with her hands. She's shivering. She clutches her temples in the palms of her hands. Now I remember why I didn't want these anymore. Bad stuff, huh? That's an understatement. This isn't okay, not at all. I can remember things that happened to friends of mine, to relatives, things that I watched happen. No. It's okay, Isabel, breathe. Just memories. They can't hurt you. Yes, they can. Her voice is ragged, raw. These memories are crystal clear. It's like all of this shit happened yesterday. I can remember watching friends die, and I can see their screaming faces just as clearly as I did the day it had happened. It's like watching a trade show, but it's my life and it's real. That gives me an idea for a scene in a story, but more on that later. Isabel, focus. Is there anything in there that can help us? She screws her eyes shut in concentration, beads of sweat hang heavy on her brow. I think so, yes. It'll take time for me to sift through all this. She opens her eyes again, looks up at you. I'll hold on to these memories for as long as I can. Hopefully long enough to reveal something useful. No promises beyond that, though. I'm not asking for promises, just do your best. She gives you a weak half smile. I always do. One thing that does jump out at me. Rhombus archives some software up here. She taps her temple with a fingernail. It's sitting on top of memories, all wrapped up like a present. Don't know why he did it, but it looks like a combat package. Combat package, you say? She nods weakly. Some sort of a basic attack modification. I'll have to study it to be sure, but I think that I can use it. That's some good news. Yeah, it's all very exciting, but for now, just give me some space, okay? She turns away, shivering. Like I said, it's gonna take time for me to make sense of all this stuff. Alright, I'll give you some space then. She waves you away. Good. Go. Now. So Isabel's got her memory back. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. I guess we're gonna have to find out later. But let's check out the mission computer. Okay, Shadowlands, pay data. Nice. 350. Alright. Now let's go ahead and check out. Looking for Decker. Oh, these guys. Looking for experienced Decker for a discreet milk run on a low-level corporate lab. Potential for longer-term arrangement. We're a team that's been together for years, running your basic heists and the occasional transport gig. We've got a reliable fixer and a long list of happy clients. Requirements. You must not take experimental stims during runs. You must have a good sense of humor. Oh, this guy again. Weren't you just looking for a Decker a little while back? I saw your ad, but I was wrapping up a one-time run with an old partner who moved away. I'd be interested in meeting. Is it Muffin Top Ninja, your phys ad? Your phys ad? Did someone call my name? Hey, MTN! Long time no beer! We gotta catch up, Sensei. Bring me on as your Decker. I guess the kid who answered your last ad didn't work out? That's an understatement. I think we can count on you to not consume any drugs during runs. Most specifically drugs that were a part of the payload. Fatal experimental drugs that were part of the payload. Ouch. That's not even a rookie error, it's just lack of common sense. Real shame, that. Anyway, I'm glad you're on board, Runs. We're not gonna have a problem with you. I wonder how those guys are gonna go. I have a bad feeling it's gonna be pretty bad. Want to trade eyes, we'll take anything. I acquired a huge sum of cutting-edge cybernetic eyes. My friends did a runner, so I've got eyes up to my eyeballs, as it were. Make me an offer. Shankmeister. They've got the whole 9 yards. 1020 vision, camera, low light, and thermographic modes. One size fits all. Sold in pairs only. Box set. Colors: brown, blue, violet, hazel, green, green flecked with gold, chrome, and you got to install them yourself. Trade you a Ranger Arms SM3. Comes with a matching briefcase. Ooh. Deal. Message me. Can I swap you my old Cyber Eyes for a new set? Seriously, anything but that. Can I buy one blue and one brown eye? No, but you can buy 2 pairs. Sheesh. Uncle Say's House of Pork. If anybody ever has the hankering to go to Uncle Say's House of Pork on Taio, I can only say one thing: for the love of all that's holy, don't. I haven't been able to leave my house in 2 days. The only reason I can even post here is because of the RAS override on my deck. What did you eat? Maybe you were just unlucky. All I had were some shumpai and ribs. That's pretty basic and hard to mess up. Unlucky is when I got a bad orange at the market. This isn't unlucky. This is something else. This is some kind of vile gastrointestinal sorcery. Oh my god, I only ate there once. Once! I still have nightmares. It felt like I'd eaten a wasp nest, if the wasps were also made of rusty razors. And also on fire. I thought I was being clever by getting the pulled pork sandwich when I ate there. Nope. Aside from basically being a pile of congealed sludge and the bread being moldy, it was a week before I could hold down anything more than solid than congee. What? Are you all a bunch of children? Yeah, the kitchen is dirty, but I've eaten there dozens of times, and not once have I gotten sick. Grow up and learn to eat adult food. Wait a second. Aren't you the person who was raving about that food cart on the corner of Kimberly and Observatory? You told me to get the yuzu glazed horse tripe. Yeah, how'd you like it? Pretty good, huh? If by good you mean the consistency of tar and old tires, yes. The tripe must have been a week or more old, and I'm pretty sure that I smelled rot once the initial citrus blasts were off. Take note, this user's advice on food is not to be trusted. Oh god, reading that actually got me to push past the RAS override. Now my deck is covered in vomit. Thanks guys, I mean it. Nothing I love more than being sick and disgusting. Oof. Walled City embezzlement history. I'm uploading another Walled City report. This one old, from just after they built it. I ended up digging into the history of the place. It's just archival plaintext. Oh, Isabel. Consolidated Press, Hong Kong desk. Sang Mechanical Services, Sang, was again accused in a joint lawsuit headed by Wujing Inc. of embezzling hundreds of millions of new yen during the construction of the Walled City low-income housing project. The plaintiffs filed an official complaint on Monday, stating that construction contractors have been heavily pressured by Sang to use cheap construction techniques, while kickbacks, graft, and misrouting of funds caused several hundred million new yen to vanish. Sang's legal team strenuously objected to the accusations, citing lack of proof in the corporation's own damaged fortunes. Legal team spokesman Li Shan has this to say. The Walled City contract was a disaster for my client. The project was sabotaged at every turn by union activists and competing corporations. TMS struggled heroically to complete the project despite its interference. These parties have now added insult to injury by fabricating charges of malfeasance based on the very obstacles which they themselves created. This has truly become the theater of the absurd. Is it true? According to Consolidated Press financial analyst Gertrude Schoen, it seems unlikely. Sang has struggled financially since the Walled City project. Shang stock, ticker symbol TMQ, Hong Kong and Tokyo exchanges, is trading at around 40% of its peak, which is reached just after it receiving the Walled City contract 4 years ago. Although investigators have indicated there is evidence of possible misconduct, no misappropriated funds have been found. And CEO Josephine Sang recently sold her Victoria Peak estate, citing financial difficulties. If TMS or the Sang family have benefited from the stolen Walled City funds, they're not showing it. Miss Sang could not be reached for comment. Huh. I always thought that Sang rocketed into success on the back of the Walled City. They sure trumpet that in their PR. Yep, It's a brilliant piece of historical revisionism. The walled city was a huge loss of face at the time, but somehow they've rebranded the whole fiasco over the last couple of decades. Maybe their underbidding made them seem like a real sucker and brought in the contracts. Isabel, I find the fact that you posted a financial article to be charming. White Prism, did you just hit on ISO? And Amina's gonna skin you. No, that's just WP. He's incapable of flirting. Would you date a woman named Amodia and then try to charm someone else on the BBS? WP is just an aggro mentan with a poor social filter. You two must have an interesting relationship. Let's just say we radically complement each other. Sounds like those two are dating. I think I've heard about those two. And Lamina and White Prism. Or that could just be Hotshot. Oh, we got a message. Auntie Cheng and Josephine. From Got It. Hey, Seattle. I think I can add a little more context to that thing between Auntie and Josephine Sang. You know, the thing that makes Auntie hit the sauce and talk revenge. This is a combo of stuff heard and stuff I put together myself, so your mileage may vary. For years, the Yellow Lotus acted as a tax collector within the Walled City. Since the Walled City was built by Josephine Sang and the Yellow Lotus was run by Auntie Cheng, they must have had a working business relationship, for a while at least. From what Nightjar told me, he was her favorite, you got that right. Auntie was known as a real up-and-comer back then. She was on the fast track to be the next Yellow Lotus 4838. That's a big deal gig, Seattle. Money and power galore. Now, you need to know that there were a lot of triads and corps doing biz in the Walled City. All sorts of stuff. Sometimes they work together nicely and sometimes people get bloody. The way that I heard it, Auntie came up with some sort of grand plan to consolidate business in the Walled City. The power would be split between the Yellow Lotus and Sang's company, and everyone else would get cut out. If her plan to work, Auntie would rise in the Lotus like nobody's business, and Josephine Sang would make a long bank. There was a catch though. In order for the plan to work, both women would need to jump through a lot of hoops. There'd be some street level maneuvering and power plays on Auntie's side, and blackmail and negotiations on a corporate level from Josephine Sang. My info gets sketchy here. From what I pieced together, Sang went behind Auntie's back and took her plan to her boss, a 438 named Wang Lun Fat. They cut Kindly out of her own plan. Why'd Sang do that? My guess is that she saw Auntie as some sort of threat. People in the know say that Wang Lun Fat is weak and greedy. She could be manipulated if her palm remains well greased. Long story short, power was consolidated in the Walled City just like Auntie planned. Only she didn't wind up getting any of it. Her climb up the lowest ladder came to an abrupt halt. She's still a straw sandal, just like she was before Sang backstabbed her. And now she's stuck in Haoi like a fly in amber. I'd be pissed too if it were me. Gobbit. So we got a bit more data on Sang now, and why Auntie hates her. I think that'll be good for right now. But I'll go on ahead and call it for here right now. I think we did a pretty decent job right now, and I want to at the very least make sure that this video processes well. Sorry I wasn't able to really talk all that much today. I mean, we did a lot more of, talking over this. But, yeah, we got some new intel on Josephine. Oh, second viewer. But yeah, we got a decent, we got some more intel on our true antagonist. We got more history on Josephine Sang and also on Auntie. And we even helped out Isabel with her memories, though I think that might be a bad move. Next time, I'm Dragon King Mark, and next time on Let's Play Shadowrun Hong Kong Shadowrun Hong Kong Extended Edition. We're gonna go ahead and rest, talk to everyone else, see if they got anything new to speak of, and I'll see all of you next time. Laters. Just hoping the video processes completely other than what happened yesterday. I don't want to delete this episode again. Thank God I got 2 saves.